and welcome to the Knowing Show. I am your host, Christine Marie. Y'all, I am so excited for tonight's conversation. We are talking all about whether or not you and I are existing as the CEOs of our lives. Are we really the ones in control? Are we sitting in the driver's seat of our life, or are other people sitting at the driver's seat? How much of our energy are we in control of its expenditure? How much of our time are we in control of how it's allocated? And I am just so thrilled and excited for you all to fall in love with Robyn Jam Anderson, just like I have been over these last few minutes in the green room before coming on here. She is the founder and CEO of Jam AI and is training over 1,500 CEOs and business owners to integrate AI into their business with 20 plus years of marketing and branding. So thank you, my friend, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, and what a wonderful introduction.
I'm so excited for this conversation. One of the things before we kind of officially dive in, while we were in the green room, I just asked you, and frankly, I've never done this before. So it was really fun asking you this question. I just said, like, what do you love? And you just started going on about how you loved your family, your business, your clients, health, just really getting to know you. And Robyn, you just have such a beautiful, beautiful perspective on the world. And I'm really grateful that we get to share that with you tonight. We have a little tribe over here at the Knowing Show, and I'm just grateful everyone gets to benefit from you like I do. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And it was really fun to stalk you throughout the day and learn more about you. And yeah, the community that you have seems amazing. So I'm just happy to be here.
Yay. Well, let's go ahead and start off, because you said something that kind of stopped me in my tracks. You said you care a lot about preserving your energy because there are energy vampires. And immediately I was like, oof, this is exactly what we need to talk about tonight, because we talk a lot on the show about really being the ones in control of our life and sitting in the driver's seat and taking radical responsibility. And the energy vampires, I just, that phrase, I want to lean into that because I think every single person can resonate with that. It really deters us off of our mission. So I'd love for you to kind of dive into what you mean by that.
Yeah, sure. And it's my social circles have changed quite a bit over the years. I would say in my late 20s, I was going out all the time, I'm a social person. I love going out and meeting new people. I spent my 30s, in mom world. I had 2 kids in my 30s, and they were my energy vampires during my 30s, right? Like little kids, toddlers, that was a lot. I didn't have much left over for my business or my social life when I had little kids. And now I'm kind of entering this new era where I'm kind of reinvented in a way. Like my kids are older, they don't need me as much. They're just very fun to be around now. And, I can kind of pick and choose where I'm spending my time again. And I launched my business, Jam AI, in late 2022. And when I love something, I just go full in. So I've learned everything that I can about setting up systems and automations and marketing and sales funnels. And that's just what I love. And what I found is, that's what I talk about. And oftentimes people will say, hey, can you look at my business? Can we go to coffee? Can we go to happy hour? Can you look at this? Can you look at that? And while I really want to, there's a point in time where it's like, I'm just giving away too much of my time and too much of my advice for free.
Yes.
So that's like one type of energy vampire, that kind that like don't understand that you're basically giving them free consulting over coffee or happy hour. And like, I don't really have time for coffee or happy hours that much anyways,
Yes.
Yeah. So that's one type. And then there's another type of energy vampire. And this is the type you really have to watch out for. Because that first type, I think they have kind hearts and good intentions, and they just want some help. And like, I wish I could help them. But then there's like, kind of like the haters, the ones who may not actually be in your corner. They may think like you're working too much. They may think you should be doing something differently. Maybe they think your Instagram videos are cringy. Like, they're the ones who are maybe talking bad about you, but still want to be in your circle and still want your time and still want your energy.
Interesting. Yes.
So those are the ones you got to watch out for sure. Have you ever had any of that?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been an interesting process. Even just having the show, I've learned a lot about the haters process of things. And, I think that there's something where, who was it? Jen Gottlieb. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of taught me about the aspect of what to do with hate, I guess you get. And so I actually, from watching her and listening to her speak a couple years ago on stage, she was just talking about how she saved some of her initial like hate messages. And that was a sign that she's, basically doing a good job because she's putting herself out there enough to get haters. And so I was like, all right, that's going to be a hallmark for me. When I actually start getting hate messages, that's going to be a sign. Okay, I'm on the right track.
That is such a good idea. And I just got a hate comment that my eyebrows were terrible the other day, and I'm going to frame it.
Oh my gosh. And it's so funny because it has it's an opportunity, and it's, what am I going to do with this input? It's a stimulus,
Sure.
And so with every stimulus, there's a choice to handle the response. And so it's like, okay, what does alchemy look like? So long as you desire to be an alchemist, and I want to be that person. And so how do I take that and turn it into alchemy? And honestly, it's funny because I think that with the energy vampires, it actually, there's almost proof in that we're doing a good job, that we're showing up and that there's a desire for what we have to say. And I think every single person listening to this can resonate. When you're wanted and needed, there's proof in value in some ways, even if it's in the negative sense. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes back to making sure that you protect your time at every angle. And I know that right now, like, my time is so limited. I was just telling my husband yesterday, I was like, I've looked at this math, I have basically from 8:40 in the morning until 2:50. Like, those are my only hours to work. And in those hours, I oftentimes have meetings. And so, like, I can't actually get the work done, And then when you're looking at trying to grow on social media and posting videos and creating content and doing all of that and making time for that, it almost seems like that's not as important, but it is, because that's how people are finding you. So you have to make time for that too. And so it's just this whole thing of like figuring out your time slots. I really like Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
I follow him quite a bit, and he does 12-hour work days in 4-hour blocks. And so that's something I've been trying to kind of mimic as much as I can.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just hard with all of the things you have going on, and making sure that you don't let people into those work bubbles that you have, or whatever it is, your family time bubble or your workout, whatever it is, you have to protect that time and not let anyone into it.
So good. C. Martin Love's mentioned, he just made a comment, energy vampires have many faces. It's so true. And I love having that as a framework, because immediately it kind of keeps us like alert of, oh, what's coming in and sucking the time here. And so to your point about time blocks, I think that that's probably one of the most important things every single one of us can have. Just containers of time, to your point about how Alex frames it out. And it's not so much of, I'm going to do these 10 things within this time block, but it's, I have to honor this. This is a boundary for me. And so I'd love to know, like, what does your week look like as you're kind of building out these habits and your time blocks?
Well, I don't like sleeping in. I wish I did.
Yeah.
My body naturally, I'll get up at like 4:30 every day, and I will immediately try to incorporate movement of some kind. So luckily we have some workout equipment in our basement, a sauna, so I can wake up and kind of get right into that, do a little meditation. But
it.
I like to take the hours from like 5:45 to 7 and just really be quiet and really work on things that are moving the needle in my business rather than just going and replying to emails. It's like, okay, this is my time to think big picture and how can I move things forward.
So good.
And then I take the kids to school, get them ready, and then back at it. I try to do meetings after 12, like 12 to 1, because I find that my brain is the most creative and most able to focus on things in the morning. So I try to get all of my work done in those morning hours.
So good. Y'all, what Robyn just described is effectively it's kind of the blueprint for every successful CEO. Like if you read any kind of successful CEO, successful entrepreneur business book, that's what so many of them say. Like, do not waste the morning. It is so precious. And that is your time. Don't give it away to other people. You know, I try to not look at my phone until I'm completely done, like my habit stack in the morning, because the second I look, it's like instant. I'm like, oh no, I wish I had it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. No, our phones and social media are energy vampires and time suckers as well.
Oh my gosh, what a good point. Yeah, that in and of itself is an energy vampire.
Yeah. I'm trying to be better, but I am so bad. And with this, I'm trying to say like I'm very structured, blah, blah, blah. But I also am flexible. And you have to be. I have to be, as my role as a mom. My husband travels a ton. So like they often don't have school. I don't know what's wrong with school systems, but like
one of the girls on my team is the same. It's like her kids are home every couple days.
Yeah. It's like, and if not that, they're sick. So it's like, you have to be flexible. And I've learned that that's the way you have to live, because you can't control what's happening to you. Like even today, really sad thing, I don't know if you're about the avalanche in Tahoe. Check it out. There's an avalanche in Tahoe, and so far 8 people have been killed by that. Wow. And one of the women was my husband's frat brother's wife. And so,
sorry.
It was just very sad news. And so, I broke my cycle this morning. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to like go to the grocery store. I'm making him soup today, because that's like what makes him happy. So you just have to like be flexible and be there for people that you love. And, I was able to get stuff done around that time, but flexible is huge.
It's wild, because part of like everything you're saying, it's all about living with intention, so that when you get those kind of calls or you find that out, it's like, I'm so grateful for how I've lived. You really can like kind of keep your shoulders rolled back and be like, I'm proud of how I'm spending my time. I'm not wasting it. And that's just such a good reminder of how fleeting life is. I just always think of my brother-in-law. He was 26 and just like the most aggressive, living life to the fullest person you'll ever meet. And as the song goes, the good always die young. And it's just like, that's always kind of in the back of my mind. He would, every second he used to the fullest. He'd be driving home from work and he would have his friend list that he would call through, and they knew that if they didn't answer, he'd be on to the next person. And so they couldn't call him right back because he'd be on the next person. And just like every second was used with so much intention. And so just the way you're talking about living, one of the biggest reasons why we have boundaries and protect from energy vampires is so that you've got the container of time to use it how you choose based on what's happening, but you've got your life scheduled effectively for the purpose of being intentional and living well.
Yeah, it's good to have that schedule. It's good to know who in your life is that energy vampire, and it's also super important to just like be there for everyone in your life, and know that if you miss a meeting or you miss your morning workout once in a while, that's fine. Don't keep yourself.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh, wow. Well, I'm so sorry for your husband and
I
his
know.
loss. It's so devastating. I didn't see the news about that, so I'm glad that you told me.
Yeah, you'll see it. It was a mom trip. Like there was a group of moms that went on a trip and
Wow.
they all passed away. And it's just like, oh
Jeez. Oh
yeah.
my
So,
gosh.
yeah, prayers to them and their families. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I would love to know, Robyn, how did you really start living with so much intention? For people listening, it's like, oh, well, that's easy because she's always been like that. I'm sure that that's not the case. But when did you really start kind of almost like when did you start living with your eyes wide open and start living with intention and really start taking ownership of your life in this way?
That's a good question. And I would say I had dreamy hippie parents a little bit. Like we had a family where we talked about horoscopes and what's meaningful, and we stayed up late talking, and they would, we had a bar in our basement and people would come over. We'd stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning and
Mm,
karaoke and talk. And like I was having conversations with grown-ups about the meaning of life and like why we're all
wow.
here when I was in high school. And
Wow.
yeah, and I actually I've always had this anxiety of like, I don't know if it's anxiety. It's a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of just kind of that fire of
Yeah.
like we're here, right? We're here. We get to make choices in our lives to either make it happy or sad. Like it's that easy. Like we can put on our glasses and create our own perceptions of situations, but we can also put ourselves in situations based on our decisions. And like every single thing, like choosing to go to college, choosing to say yes or no to somebody when they propose to you, like all of these things put you on a trajectory. And like if one's going to make you happy, go that way. Like it's really simple, like follow happiness.
Mm,
And when you get into situations where things are hard, change your perception.
mm,
Make it as positive as you can.
mm. I love that. It's kind of like what we were talking about with alchemy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we really do have the power to choose.
You
Um,
do.
yeah,
100% you do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we're creators. All of us are. Like we're made in the image of the greatest creator, I believe. And so we have that same power in us to create our lives. And so then the question is, it's almost like you were asking those questions at such a formative time in your life. So you were kind of already thinking, how do I want to live? What's the purpose?
Mhm.
What's the meaning? What's the target? How am I going to aim my life and direct my life? And I think for so many of us, so long as these talk about energy vampires are coming in and kind of sucking the excess, we don't have any buffer to ask those questions and to think about those questions, because the second we have a moment of quiet, we pick this thing up. Even
Yeah.
going into the bathroom, whereas most people would have toilet thoughts. There's no more of that because you take something with you to instantly distract yourself. And maybe the only point of solace and quiet really is the shower. And so you've got shower thoughts now. But how much of that is now we've got podcasts on or music, and
Mhm.
so it's like you kind of started out your foundation with space and time. And I think it's really important to add
Yeah.
into community, where that was,
Yeah.
yeah, like that was the baseline of how you were raised to dialogue and ask hard questions.
Yeah.
I love that. How are you kind of raising your kids now in that regard? They're 7 and 9?
They're 7 and 9. We're very different from my parents. My parents were a lot more fun than my husband and I are. um, with those deep thoughts, there are deep conversations. There's a lot of alcohol and smoking and secondhand smoke in my face, and it was the '90s. It's fine. We are raising our kids
Mm.
pretty feral. Like
Yeah, yeah.
um, we are constantly showing up for them, and my big thing is tell them you love them every day. Show them you love them every day. Um, we we're super active though. So like we're pickleball, tennis, ballet, baseball. Like we're
Hey,
just
I think that's fun, Robyn. I
yeah,
think that's
no, it
fun.
is fun. It is fun, yeah. And one special thing that we do that I love is every July we take the month off and we go to Vermont and we
Mm.
have like a month just kind of like no screens, like no work. Although last year I worked. This year I won't. And we just kind of like have a summer in Vermont, and it's been nice. This will
Oh,
be our 5th year going. Yeah. So that's
fun.
fun. Yeah.
I love that. What a good, honestly, what a good way to like really bring that point of connection.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it'll, it's like memories, and they go to camps out there. And so they're going to have like their little Vermont community, which I love.
Fun. I love that. There's something I always wished I had gone to like a kid's summer camp or something when I was little. I just watched The Parent Trap and I was like, that looks like fun.
Yeah. I'm always like looking at the little girls being like, I wonder which one of you will be my future daughter-in-law. Cause I just feel like there's going to be like a future love story of like summer camp romance.
I love it. We must have one.
So, yes. Yes, totally.
So cute. And it's it was so interesting. I'm actually, I don't normally do this. Just, was it 2 days ago that I had a guest on here where he was talking around, he's got a new book coming out, which he's calls it kind of the, oh gosh, the big moment, insert blank here, but it's like the big moments in life where you have these points of opportunity to really form connection with your kids. And he went through 7 of them, where it was like, one is like the decision where they have to make a decision of whether they're going to stay in soccer or do baseball. Another is like something's hard for them, and that's really a point of connection. Telling the truth, that's another moment of really like, and he calls it just like moments, like these big moments. And I just feel like with all of like the life you're facilitating for them, there's so many moments that you're creating. And I'm actually, I'm so excited we're talking about this, because I hadn't thought about this concept for probably over a year now. So this is fun. I wasn't even going here, but all of a sudden I remembered it. I had this thought probably 365 days ago, that because there's so many moments in children's lives, there's so many hallmarks, so many things to look forward to, so many moments that really do cultivate us. And so his point is that though each one of those big moments, whether it's a transition or a big decision or a truth moment, is a point of like, we need to be really intentional, because in that moment we're formed, whether we're forming the relationship with our children or ourselves. And so what I had this thought of last year was, I need to self-perpetuate and induce more moments like the ones that we experience as kids, because those moments serve as hallmarks for our lives by which we kind of test time. And, you're sharing all these hallmarks for your kids' lives with like summer vacation and then all these sports and just so many hallmarks. And so I'd be curious, with the time blocks that we have for our weeks, how do you and how do we self-perpetuate moments that really help us to honor the beauty and joy of this life as adults, not just for kids? Because it's so easy to, I would imagine, when you have kids, like my big moments are a lot of your moments. But like, you've got this really successful business. You're meeting, I think you're meeting next week with 24 businesses where you're coaching them. Like, so cool. How do you self-perpetuate and curate moments that are effectively like dopamine hits? Like, this is why we're living. This is moments of happiness, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, for my business stuff, I celebrate my wins. Like, I don't let those pass. Like, if I do something where I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I just did that, or whoa, I landed this big speaking gig or whatever, like, I'll go and celebrate that with somebody. Like, that's something you have to stop and pause, because I think sometimes too, especially CEOs and people who own their own businesses, it's like we're always working so hard for that next thing that sometimes when you get the first thing, you miss it. So you have to have, this little celebration. I do want to talk about one thing I didn't think I would bring up, but you talking about moments and, that shape you. My dad passed away last summer, and it was horrible, obviously, but like, to explain to kids your grandpa's gone. That's a whole nother level of like horribleness. However, he was sick, and we had talked about it for a long time. And he had always said, like, I want you guys to party. Like, you guys at my funeral, you're going to party, you're going to tell good stories. And this is just like something so cute that I think I'll remember. I think my kids will remember, and everyone who's there. My son's Obi, and I said, Obi, you have to dress up for this. Like, I know you don't like to dress up, but we have to get dressed up. I'll see you downstairs. Your stuff's out on the bed. And then, just kind of like, it's a blurry day, but we get to the church, and my son comes out in his alien costume, like his Halloween costume, like a full blow up. And he was like, you told me I had to dress up. Like, to him, that was like
That's
dressing
so
up. And
cute.
he actually thought
Oh my
that.
God.
Yeah. And that one thing just like completely changed the mood. Everyone was so happy.
Wow.
And like the kids did the Macarena on the stage with like 15 kids dancing. Like, it was so good. And so like just you can't plan that stuff, like there's moments where you're just like going through motions and things are hard. And then like something like that happens that shaped all of us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful example. Oh my gosh. That's so fitting too, because it is like, that is a hallmark moment in so many ways. It's devastating and so sad. And then thank God for kids.
I know, except for like all of the kids who are there are like, funerals are great. When's the next one?
Oh, God.
No.
Not how it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what a beautiful perspective, because it is true. It is up to us to create moments of beauty in our lives. And it's up to us to do it for ourselves. There's a woman I know, God bless her, most wonderful heart. She's like, it's up to me to make Christmas magic. I have to make Christmas magic for everybody else. I found that my dad doing something he loves and welcoming us into it, it is way more magical than him being like, all right, everybody, I got to make you all happy. It's like, it's such a twist on, I'm going to invite you into my joy. And that's actually, there's, even as I say that, there's something actually very divine around that concept, around like entering the joy of the Father. And I think that actually there's something around us being parents, and like, you enter my joy. I get to create the joy in this home, and you get to enter into it, rather than my whole world revolves around you. And I hope you're happy. That's a lot of pressure for a kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. And you can see the parents that are parenting that way, and it's hard, and the kids feel the pressure. And I love that you said that. And like, that's so beyond your years, even. Like, that is so wise of you to know that. But it's just something that's so true. It's like, you can invite people into your joy and not pressure them to provide, or not pressure them to make you happy. In any relationship,
Gosh. And there's freedom in that. I think for the kids, it's like freedom to have a bad day. Like, we all have a bad day. And that's something, as we're talking about energy vampires, how much do we actually be that vampire for those we love, because we're trying to make them feel a certain way, where, man, there's just freedom when I'm good. I'm going to exist in my joy regardless of what is going on for you. And it's like, the book Letting Go by David Hawkins has been one of the most impactful books for me. And it's effectively like, someone is going to level up or level down. So either your kids are going to level up to meet you. And he doesn't say this, but it's like knows like, the law of attraction. And so I imagine, when you've got a family, somebody is setting the emotional tempo. And so are we as parents going to be the ones that do that, and then kind of force the kids to rise to join us in that place of joy?
I think that's so true, and like super true in friendships and everything, all relationships. It's just the energy levels, like, they have to be equal in a friendship. They just have to be.
Yeah. So good. I want to ask you, Brian C. asked this question a little bit ago, and I just think it's so fun.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you a fun question. He says, what's one rule
Okay.
you really enjoy breaking? I love that
Ooh.
question, Brian. That's so fun. And I
So I don't really have any rules is the thing. Like,
true. Yeah, that's a good one.
let me think. Well, and my husband is so funny because he's always like, I know how to handle you. Like, I have to give you all the freedom. And like, if I give you any rule, you'll break it. Like, even if I'm like, oh, I'm going to not eat sugar this week or something, I'll immediately eat sugar. Like, I love to break rules. I love it. I love
Even
it.
self-imposed
I mean,
rules. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah. I know you're the host here, but like, do you have a rule you like to break? Like, am I missing
Yeah,
something?
I know. That's why I got to ask you that.
Yeah.
Oh golly, I don't know. It's a good question because I don't have one. To be honest, I've actually been the opposite of you. I really was like very much so the rule follower because I think I didn't want to
Mhm.
test and see what happens, but I just knew that if you follow the rules, you get love. And so
Yeah.
like, I just love how you were raised with like asking the hard questions and that was it wasn't just like okay, but it was actually fostered. And so
Yeah.
I want to grow in that for myself. You know, we actually had a friend here on the show where he was so direct and I was kind of like taken aback at how direct he was. And it took me a little bit to be like, oh no, that's just so I'm not used to that. And I'm still trying to get for myself familiar with like the super direct, aggressive type of feeling questions because my MO is like
Yeah.
just peace and like but kind of even under the guise of like, we'll just not talk about anything hard. So it's
Yeah.
like there's also always a shadow to the light. So that was the shadow. But yeah, they are on the side of
Yeah.
not breaking rules.
Yeah. I never even had rules growing up. I remember like my high school boyfriend had a curfew and I was like, I want a curfew. Like that seems cool to
Yeah.
have one. And then, so I asked for a
I
curfew.
love
They
so
were
you could
like,
break it.
yeah,
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 exactly.
pretty much.
You're like, give me a curfew. They give it. That's stupid. And then
Yeah. I'll see you 10 minutes
yes.
after. What are you going to do?
Brian just put in the chat stop signs. Stop signs is a good rule.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good example, like driving rules. Oh my gosh. Thank you so. I've just like loved this conversation. I know that we haven't talked much about AI, but before we jump off, what's happening in the world of AI, Robyn, for all of us, whether we want to incorporate it in our business or just incorporate it into our life? What's going on?
I think just the one thing everyone should know, no matter where you are. So like 2024, 2025 was all about like a chat, right? Like chatting with Chat GPT, chatting on Claude, like it helps you think it's writing for you. And 2026 is all about agentic AI, where we can actually have it do things for you. And it's, the fun part for me is that it's bringing a whole world of new income opportunities that I can show other people. So, like today, I hosted a whole session on income and AI, and I showed a group of people 5 different ways to make more money, like in their business. So, that's the stuff I love, where it's like little things where people are learning, like, oh, I can do that, and I can put that into my sales flow, or I could add that as a
So cool.
Yeah.
Can you say the organization, just in case people would like to get involved in that? Can you tell us about it? Your organization that you're volunteering with?
Oh, yes. So I work really closely with score.org, and SCORE is a nonprofit and it's national. And so at the national level, I'll do workshops. They sell a course of mine. But the cool part is that there's local branches in every major city where they pair retired, successful business people of all sorts. It's people ranging from 30s to 70s.
Nice.
And they match those successful retired entrepreneurs with people who are starting a business. So I love that because imagine all of the things that they've already tried and failed and learned that you could just jump in and as a new business owner, like take their blueprint and go.
So good. I love that. And
Yeah.
your business, Jam AI, tell us a little bit about that in case folks want to work with you.
So I'm obsessed with my business because I was telling you in the green room, like I started this in late 2022, but AI was like not really a thing. Like it was like, what is it? Who is it? Is it a robot? So I felt like I was working in the dark. And then I created a community. It's called Club Jam. And I have 250 plus people in there at this point. And it's a community learning platform on School. I don't know if you've heard of that platform. Yeah, so I love it. I have different experts I bring in every week. And so we do like live training. We have a great constant communication going on. We have a classroom full of like free prompts and templates and tools. So yeah, it's just like it is that way, you know, back to the energy vampire. This community allows me to help hundreds of people without spending one-on-one time, but still getting that connection. So it's been amazing because I have so many new friends.
I love
in there.
it.
Like, I love
That's
them.
so cool.
Yeah.
So if people want to learn AI alongside you, go to Club AI on School.
It's actually, so you just go to jamout.ai and then
nice.
Yep. And there's buttons all over for a free 7-day trial there. So you can try it out.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here. I know we didn't talk AI, but I loved our conversation.
That's fine. There's other important things. No, thank you so much for having me. You are a delight. I would love to talk to you again.
Nice.
Sometime.
Me too. I feel the same way. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. And I'm grateful too just for the real insight into how you're living, because so often it's who do you effectively need to become in order to get to that next level in life and to really take control of your life to begin with. So I appreciate the way that you're living and modeling it for us. So thank you.
Thank you. And, you know, can I leave with
Please,
one tip?
Yes.
For everyone here. Do whatever you can do to be more confident. Like if you need to buy a new outfit, do it. If you need to go read a book, do it. Like confidence is the thing that makes you glow from the inside out and gives you what you need to grow your business, be a good wife, be a good friend, husband, whoever's in the chat here. I'm confident and do more of that.
I love that. So good. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us. Go to what is it?
Jamout.ai.
Jamout.ai to learn AI with Robyn here. And in the meantime, I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern as we go through our daily Course in Miracles lesson. But with that, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And I will see you tomorrow on The Knowing Show.
Bye, Christine. Thank you.